There is no question that one of the greatest debaters in all history is the great Mossab Hassan Yusef. He's the Green Prince. His father was one of the founders of Hamas. Mossab rejected the movement and spent the last 3 years fighting the evils of Palestinianism and people like Cenk Uygur, a thug who just wants to create a genocide against the Jewish people. Let's listen to Mossab do his magic against Cenk Uygur.
Look, if somebody want to cancel my right to exist, I will never sit down on the table with them and give them any form of recognition. There is no dialogue with someone who wants me to cease to exist. End of the story. Hamas wants the destruction of Israel. They don't want the land. They don't care for the land. It's basically like someone entering the negotiating room and saying, let's negotiate. But after this, I'm going to shoot you in the head. So what's the point of the negotiations? If tomorrow you're going to kill my children, if the day after you're going to attempt to annihilate me, so then what's the point? Israel tried many times to extend their hand. For example, my father was one of those people in the prisons and outside the prisons, abroad, to find a common ground with Hamas. But Hamas totally rejected the existence of the state of Israel. The best they could offer to the negotiating table, a truce that is limited to 10 years. This is what they offered Israel, that we give you a truce for 10 or 15 years, but after that, we don't know what we will do. What kind of negotiations is this? What type of dialogue is this?
Okay, so first of all, the right to exist, I find this to be the most ironic point that the Israeli side makes. So they say, we are not allowing Palestine to exist. We've occupied them for 57 years. And now Netanyahu's government says, I will never allow them to exist. And then turns around in the next sentence says, can you believe they don't want us to exist? I mean, that's patently absurd. You do exist. There's nothing they could do about your existence. You're backed by the largest military in the history of humanity. But meanwhile, you are literally preventing the state of Palestine from existing. And then you say that is such an evil concept that you cannot even negotiate with it. But that's the concept that you not only believe in, but you're in the middle of doing right now. And nevertheless, I would negotiate with Israel, even though they have prevented the Palestinian state from existing, even though they have oppressed and occupied. And then this whole idea of, oh my God, these people are uniquely anti-Semitic. What did you think was going to happen? I hate that they're anti-Semitic, but if you occupy someone for 57 years, did you think they were going to love you? And then go, oh yes, after 57 years of brutal occupation and humiliation and endless slaughters, I expected them to love the Jews. And if they don't, then I'm never going to speak to them. I'm never going to allow them to have a state. But my God, my feelings are hurt because the other side also doesn't want me to exist. It's patently absurd. The only reason you would say crazy things like that is if you never wanted a peace deal in the first place.
Well, so you're building your argument on the false narrative of occupation. Okay. So this whole story of occupation and the victim mentality and why they are entitled for revenge and inflicting pain on Israel and destruction on a peaceful communities because they have been occupied. But then we say, did Palestine ever exist? No, it didn't. It was not a country. It's not a people. It's not an ethnic group. It's not a race. It was just a colonial entity created by the British. Then it was terminated in 1948 when the Jews had the right to declare their independence. They did, but the Arabs refused. There weren't Palestinians at that time. The Palestinians were Jews, Arabs, Druze, Christians, everybody who lived in that territory during the colonial era. All of them were called Palestinians. It's created by the British. It was not a country. It was not like an ethnic country, an Arab country that was called Palestine. So if this is the truth of the situation, then there is no such thing as occupation.
Yeah.
And the entire tale that you are building on the occupation allegation is false.
So
Yeah.
we're
Okay,
we're
can I
we're
ju-
we're
I
we're
gotta
not we're,
address that.
we're not strictly debating whether the occupation exists or is real as defined by most of the world, but I do think that the point requires comeback.
Yeah. So
Oh man, he's got it right away. The country of Palestine never existed historically. There was never a president of Palestine. There was never a government of Palestine. There were never Palestinians. It was created by the British. And this is all just a smokescreen of Arabism and the Islamics to just destroy the Jewish people. Thank God we have people like Mossab fighting back with intelligence, greatness. He's one of the people who understands what's really going on in the Middle East. Let's wish him a lot of luck in the future.